Thank you. Senator Fischer.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Welcome, gentlemen. Thank you both for putting yourselves forward to serve this country. I appreciate that. Mr. Lindberg, it's good to see you. And I appreciated our conversation about how trade is critical to the ag economy in my state of Nebraska. The Biden administration left us with a $49 billion agricultural trade deficit. I know you and Secretary Rollins want to tackle this problem head-on. I'm excited to see that Secretary Rollins announced she will be visiting 6 international markets in her first 6 months on the job. Nebraska's ag producers have talked to me about the opportunities in a number of these markets, such as getting fair treatment for our pork in Vietnam, securing access for our biofuels in India and Brazil, and our beef in the UK. I know Nebraska's ag producers are excited about the opportunity and focus on opening markets for our ag products. A couple of weeks ago, I met with Nebraska's pork producers and discussed what opportunities for export market development they are hoping for from the Trump administration. And they shared excitement about Vietnam in particular. Other competitors, such as the European Union, Russia, and Canada, already have trade agreements in place with Vietnam that give them lower tariff rates. With Secretary Rollins planning to visit Vietnam, it sounds like there's a real opportunity to ensure that we can compete fairly in that market. As the Secretary and yourself, if you are confirmed, work to open markets in new countries, how would you plan to get input and feedback from our farmers and ranchers about where they see opportunity or where they have challenges with exporting to other countries?
Thank you, Senator. I also enjoyed our conversation and just want to make mention, a friend of mine is here today who owns a farm in Nebraska. Bonnie Glick is with us today. So welcome to Bonnie, and glad to have her as a Nebraska farmer here. Yes, absolutely. So the process by which I started my career in consulting, so I think about things in a very straightforward and strategic manner. I plan to go into my office on day one, should I be confirmed for this role, and put the number negative $49 billion on the whiteboard and begin inviting your Nebraska pork producers, all of the different commodity groups from around the country to come in and have conversations with us. This is a conversation that drives the outcome. I don't pretend to know all of the things. The actual USTR comment window that was recently opened on unfair trade practices was exceedingly helpful, and many groups began this process for us. But I say we have to get to the $60 billion sales number so that we get back into surplus, because America's always fed the world, and right now we're not meeting our mandate there, and we could be doing better. So it'll be a very iterative and consultative process through the program here.
I guess, can you talk a little bit about how you would coordinate with organizations that receive trade promotion funding through the USDA?
Absolutely, I can. So in my current capacity as CEO of South Dakota Trade, our state's international trade office, we've worked extensively with Food Export Midwest, which receives USDA Foreign Agricultural Service funding to help promote our agricultural products overseas. We have co-worked on trade missions together in the past. I've engaged their staff in sending them referrals from South Dakota to help promote products overseas as well. And so it would be very much my pleasure, and I think a continuation of the work I've already been doing to engage exactly in what you're referring in that question.
You know, I know that our farmers and ranchers are excited about the prospect of opening up new markets. And, you know, when we look at the retaliatory tariffs that are out there, that makes people nervous. But our farmers and ranchers are also willing to give the president time on this to be able to expand those markets. We look at China and what they're doing. They happen to be a significant market for soybeans, a major crop that we have in Nebraska. But we're facing a duty there from the Chinese of 155%. That shuts our farmers out of that market. Can you talk a little bit about your goals when you look at China and what maybe you would see them doing to meet some of the needs that we have in this country, how we can come together, what you would tell a soybean farmer in Nebraska who's feeling anxious about those tariffs? What would you say?
Sure. So one thing I might mention, this morning, Secretary Bessent spoke at the White House, and the quote I really enjoyed that he said was, "The aperture of uncertainty is narrowing." And if you look at I mentioned earlier in this hearing, the data point that after we signed the China Phase 1 agreement in the last Trump administration, we actually saw a net increase in exports to China on the agricultural front, up 39% from pre-tariff levels. So we know that trade deals work. We're going to get, hopefully, trade deals done early in the process, and that's going to increase those export opportunities readily in the not-too-distant future. And so I look forward to working with you and all of your producers to make sure that we can get that message across and that we're going to be here as a lifeline for them.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thanks, Mr. Chairman.